Let's do a talk and drive. As you can see, my phone's stationary. I'm not holding it. Right? Got some comments from one person telling me not to make videos while I drive. Well, my guess to that is because it's a lot easier to fuck with someone's frequency if they're stationary. Would be my guess, right? You know, the best thing I could probably do is make a video while I'm jogging or walking. Keep the body moving, keep the mind moving, keep the blood flowing. The toxinous blood they've made by injecting all the bullshit. But that's not the point of this video, right? Let's just talk about some names because people want to attack my credibility and what I'm saying. But if anyone's following along, right, and they're paying attention to the names, my name is Thomas Kimball. I used to work for Rob McGuckin. He was the vice president of Apex Systems. Ram Blazer was the president of Apex Systems at the time, who's now the CEO of On Assignment. We'll get back to the CEO of On Assignment. But Ram Blazer came from KPMG. It's a reputable company. And he brought a bunch of his lackeys with him too. One of them I can't remember this guy's name, but I got him fired because he grabbed my girlfriend's ass at a awards trip in the Bahamas one year. I want to say it was Paul something, but I can't remember that guy's name. It's irrelevant. Let's see names. Peter Damaris was the CEO of On Assignment. You can look him up. That's a big name. What happened to Peter Damaris? What did he get in trouble for? Apex Systems is one of the largest IT staffing firms in the United States. So for all the conspiracy theorists out there, right, who have been right the entire way and know that big tech, one of the largest IT staffing firms in the country, know that big tech is behind a lot of our problems because they're interwoven with the government and the government contracts and all the spending that we don't know where it's going. Lockheed Martin is one of Apex Systems' largest clients. Lockheed Martin is one of the largest Department of Defense contractors. Karen Mountain Stewart is a 28-year NSA veteran who is now incapacitated likely by the energy weapons that she exposed while working at the NSA or after she left the NSA and told us what was going on. I personally have correspondence with Karen, and she sent me the PDF implicating Lockheed Martin. This is being covered up at every level of law enforcement, okay? Local, state, federal, it's all being covered up. So it's on all of us to ask questions. I'm doing my due diligence to give you guys names, to give you guys companies to look into. My personal portfolio was ESPN, which became Disney. They have a pretty clean record, right? I don't think any pedophiles work for Disney. Voya, ING, which I mentioned, and then once I got into a national role with the company, I had a financial portfolio. And I didn't stay in that role very long. I told you I quit almost immediately when I found out that Rob was collecting information on me in an underhanded fashion. So in the financial portfolio, I was working with Deutsche Bank, Bank of America, probably Merrill Lynch, and Voya, maybe a couple others. Wells Fargo, but Wells Fargo, I don't think I was working with Wells Fargo. I think that had its own account because it was so big. And I don't think it had anything to do with that. But if you look at Apex Systems portfolio, client portfolio, they're working with Google, I think Facebook, all the big companies, all Silicon Valley or whatever. And, look at the heat map of locations at Apex Systems. I mean, this is a large company that on its face is up and up, but I can tell you from experience, coincidentally, as soon as I quit Apex in 2015, I started getting targeted. So, what else? What else can I tell you guys? What other names can I give you? I don't know. Conspiracy. What can we prove? I don't know. I don't know what we can prove. I think the medical industry. McKesson's a big client of Apex. Boehringer Ingelheim. That was a contract that was established by Win Sheridan, who is one of the original founders of Apex. He knew the owner of Boehringer Ingelheim and set up that account. And I managed that account for, I don't know, all the few months before I fucking got us kicked off it. Because instead of like going through Boehringer's like procedures, right? They wanted to fire Apex employees essentially. And part of our company policy is that we let our own people go, right? Like if we have contractors on site, we tell them that, okay, we have to fire them. And that was a new thing for me, in that role, was letting people go. And I can tell you stories about firing people too. Like one of them didn't go so well. But so at Boehringer specifically, they wanted to just do everything themselves. They have Yo Staffing, and Yo Staffing wanted to fire our people. So like we had consultants come in through Apex under Yo at Boehringer, and I just kind of said, no, I'm going to let our own people go, and that ended up getting us kicked off the Boehringer account. They're a big boy. You don't hear about them as much as Pfizer, but they're a big pharma company. And I believe Pfizer's also one of Apex's clients. Everybody works with Apex to some capacity. What else? I'm just trying to piece together what I pieced together, so that we can shut this shit down. Nobody wants to be monitored under the skin. They're doing that in healthcare, saying that it's for our safety. They're blending language that sounds like national security stuff, which gives them autonomy to take away our bodily autonomy, to say whatever they want to put inside, inject into us, however they want to monitor us under the skin. Biosurveillance, biometric surveillance, biodigital convergence, human augmentation, the global standardization of biodigital convergence. Once you start, once you start piecing together all the pieces, and you see how the businesses work with the governments, work with the granting and the funding and the research and the development and the products and the market share and the projects, right? Project Soulcatcher, what's that? You start to gain a clearer understanding of how it all works together and what they're doing. And what they are doing is experimenting on human biology, and the experimentation part is, I would say, ongoing, but right, because there always are iteratives and upgrades and changes to products and services. And if the human node is the key, the human is the keynote on the Internet of Things, or the whole fucking cloud, right? We are the central point of connectivity. I think they've done a lot of the experimentation already, and this is like the rollout phase. I don't know. I'm glad that all y'all are paying attention. We can certainly have conversations today that we couldn't have 10 years ago. More people are paying attention and waking up and understanding where the money goes, who's behind it. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of people working jobs, collecting paychecks, providing for their families that don't know a way out. Even I've talked to people in the last week who know that they're supporting the beasts, and they don't know how to get out. They don't know what else to do. They have kids. They're providing for their families, and I understand. But the most important thing is the truth. And I say that time and truth is a funny equation.